This is In My Lounge Room, and I'm your host, Skye.
And I'm your other host, Damo, and on this week's episode, we're talking about loneliness.
Are we?
Hey, Skye, how are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful.
That's fantastic.
I'm just brilliant.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's raining.
It is raining.
Which came out of the blue.
It did, because yesterday was really nice.
It was beautiful. Went for a bike ride.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
And my legs and my arse. Mind you, I did do a whole bunch of squats because my lifting program at the moment, leg day, has squats, more squats, leg presses, which at home I don't have a leg press machine, so that's
you hack squat.
hack squats.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Calf raises.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, sorry, leg curls.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
And I do that with the cable machine.
Yeah,
so I
cool.
stand there and I curl backwards.
And,
or I lay on the ground and I do it that way, depending.
So you're having fun with that?
It's fun if I don't not lift, because I'm going to be honest, I did a few sessions of bench over the last few weeks because benching's easy and I can bench really well.
Yeah.
And it's also one of those fun exercises.
It sort of is fun.
Yeah. And plus, I sent you a photo of the arm pump I had, because you do some bicep curls, you do a whole bunch of triceps, and then before you know it, you're like walking around looking like The Rock, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens to me.
It does
anyway.
not happen to me, thank goodness.
So,
I'd be scared if that happened to me.
Yeah.
On the roids. Yeah, trend. Woo!
Bit much testosterone there. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do legs because it's the weekend, and I figured, well, if I do have heavy DOMs, then I've got Sunday to deal with it. Yeah. But then because we didn't come here yesterday, we needed an activity to fill the afternoon with. So we went for a bike ride. So we rode from Osborne Park, because parked the car so we were close to the freeway. Rode from Osborne Park to South Perth foreshore.
Did you do the freeway path?
Yeah.
I love
Along the
riding
freeway.
along there.
And then through the city and
nice.
Over there. And then there was a gentleman playing the bagpipes down by the river where you get off the bridge.
Yep.
The Narrows Bridge, there's right
that little
there.
under area.
Yeah, it's away from everything and there's noise and stuff. So if you want to play the bagpipes, that's a great place to practice because you're not going to annoy anyone.
No,
so we rode there and then rode home again.
I did say to you when you got out of the car, I was like,
a bit sore.
Yeah.
Like not working. You also have what's your driveway like? 45 degrees?
At least.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
I mean,
try doing the bins.
You will never flood here.
Never. The boys are always like, if there's a tsunami, are we good? And I'm like, yeah, we're good. We're totally good. That's what you think. Always disasters.
Yeah.
Disasters. Yeah.
But no, that's no. So getting out of the car and then carrying stuff up that hill, I was like, oh, this is not fun. Walking's fine. Sitting down and getting back up again, as long as I've got something to stand on.
Like old man.
But first thing this morning, before I even got out of bed, I grabbed the Voltaren off the side.
Good decision.
Rubbed it all over my
just to loosen and get it all warm.
Yeah. It was not fun. So that was my day. You're back playing? Well, you're not playing.
I'm not playing, but I'm back coaching basketball. Yes. So it's moved from Auskick and now I'm back to being the coach for Benjamin's team, which was fun. So I think I messaged you going, oh my God. So we've gone from no stealing last season.
Yep.
Because they're 5-year-olds actually, to stealing, which was hilarious. So
yeah, I know why they do it. I still think it's it's a little bit of cotton wool for the children's feelings, but
it's more just 5-year-olds just have no concept of stealing. They sort of touch and
they just walk, just grab the ball.
Yeah.
Rather than when you're active in moving the ball, you can't just pull the ball from someone. But then you'd have if that you'd have one kid with the ball all the time.
Which is Benjamin.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah. So it has been good from that perspective. Like I notice the difference now. He's not as dominant. Like he's still very good, but suddenly with stealing, he can't just bounce, shoot all the time. So that's been good, bad, because obviously, he wants to be dominant. But yeah.
I think it was hilarious when you gave me the finishing margin.
Oh yeah.
It was 6-9, and you're like, such a close game, and I'm like, by percentages, that's a walkover.
Yeah.
Because if both teams score under 10 points and one scores 6 and one scores 9, that's like only 2/3 of the score. So it's kind of like, that's actually a flogging. That's but they're kids. They don't care.
Yeah.
They just want to play. Mum cares.
Yeah, I care. Yeah. I care because we lost by 3 points. Apparently, with a thrashing.
Yeah.
Well,
it's only one scoring shot, but how many 6-year-olds are shooting 3-pointers?
I mean, none.
Yeah.
None. So, so two of the boys, Benjamin got 2 points and another little boy got 4 points. Yeah. The others just,
Is it hard not to laugh when they make the shot and it doesn't even touch the bottom of the net? Like just kind of air balls out.
Oh, there's a few like that. I love how excited they get when they get it. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, boys, concentrate. Defense, let's go.
Yeah.
But then too busy like, woo, celebration. I'm like, we're not at the Olympics yet. No.
No, but you do have to celebrate your wins.
Of course.
Because, if you lose, at least you got to celebrate you scored.
Yeah, so we
celebrated
a lot. So I was like, you guys did so well.
Yeah.
Joshua's team, however, 40-0, they thrashed them.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So the first 3 rounds, they are doing working out the divisions.
Did the other kids have legs? I mean,
it was really bad. I was not expecting that thrashing. They've got a good team this year. They've added a couple of kids, and there's just a good couple of boys who are really fast, getting that ball down fast, and then they've got good defense. So I think the team, but I don't know what happened. This team, I didn't think we're going to
So your team is stacked and their team was terrible. So the combination of those two things is not
40-0.
The first game of Colts football that I ever played, because I played midgets, it was called, and then you go from midgets to under 10s, and then you go under 13s. And then you play Colts.
Yeah, okay. It's so different these days. Yeah.
And then you play Colts from 13 to 17, 18.
And then you get into reserves,
and then you play reserves and A grade. So when I got to 17, I got asked to play A grade, and I told them to stick it up their ass and never played football again. But I have reasons.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not crying a little bit here at all.
I just didn't like the way that it was apparent to me that I was making up the numbers, and so when they asked me if I wanted to come and try out to play a league, I'm like, is that because your team's so terrible you don't have enough people to play? Because that's basically what it was. They didn't want me playing for them because I was a good footballer.
Yeah, they just needed players.
Someone to warm the bench.
That's shit. Okay.
And I'm like, no, because when I played Colts, even though I played Colts for 45 years, right? In the last year. Because we started off, so my first year of Colts, the first game we played, we won 32-17-0.
Okay. That's pretty good.
That's a big number.
No, I know that's very good.
And our percentage was 500% or something.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah, and theirs was 0.
Yeah, so but it doesn't get not till the next game until we've everyone's had a score.
Yeah.
But that was because we had 3 players in that team who all went on to play AFL.
Okay. Oh, really?
So yeah.
Oh.
So
that's a pretty good team.
We had a pretty stacked team.
Yeah.
And plus we had I think we had 7 Indigenous players as well.
Fast.
So, it made magic. That these guys could just...
They are magic.
They could see the ball coming down, and it's almost like they see it spinning in slow motion.
Yes.
And before it even hits the ground, they know which way it's going to bounce.
They're like superheroes.
Me, the ball comes down, bounces. You've got to wait for it to bounce.
And you're like, I think it's going to go that way. Yeah.
But they're like... This is going to bounce to the right, so they lead to the right, and you're kind of like, how did you know that was going to happen?
And it's just they're so fast.
Yeah,
it's amazing
great.
to watch. I love
But same thing. We had a stacked team. So by the time we got to my last year of Colts, we weren't that team anymore because those guys who were like the massive players had gone onto AFL or they'd moved to Perth to play in the Waffle back then. Still called the Waffle, but they moved.
Remember they went through a phase where they called it West Star Rules or whatever?
Yeah.
Who did that? Who ever thought that was an idiot?
Yeah, so there was no Dockers in these days either. Everyone went to play for the Eagles. The Dockers came later. Or went off to Adelaide and Collingwood, I think one went too, but the catchment for where we were in the Central Wheat Belt was West Perth.
Oh,
so
okay.
you'd go and play for West Perth and then you could...
So are you still a West Perth supporter?
I never supported West Perth.
Oh, really?
No, I was
Do you have
Districts.
a Waffle? Are you Swan Districts too?
Yeah, because my dad grew up grew up in Bassendean.
Well, because I was born at Swan Districts Hospital.
Okay.
So, and Mum did midwifery there. So I'm always been black and white Swan Districts.
No, we, for me growing up as a kid... and it was just because Dad did. Now I couldn't give two shits.
No. But you always, like, if they're in the grand final, you're like, Swannies. Yeah.
Well, it was Swan Districts. And plus we won those back-to-back grand finals in like 83, 84,
and then we went
82,
through a phase and then there was nothing for a while and then we did okay.
And we had John Todd. And then John Todd was like the first coach of the Eagles because he was the coach of all coaches.
Yes.
So it was Swan Districts. And then it was the VFL in those days. Yes. There was no AFL, so it was Collingwood because they were black and white.
That was my grandfather was the
same. And in the SAFL, it was Port Adelaide because back then they were black. Yeah. Well, they weren't Port Adelaide, but Port Adelaide were black and white. But they changed when they went to the AFL because they couldn't be black and white anymore. So they got that. What's the teal?
It's like teal and silver almost. Yeah.
So as a kid, I'd never seen or knew anything about Port Adelaide or Collingwood, but because my dad was like black and white, I'm like, okay, that's my team.
That was my grandfather. My dad's dad was the same. Swan Districts. Full, like, passionate Magpie supporter.
Isn't it funny? Because we inherit like those kind of things from our parents. Okay, different with cricket because it's always like WA. You support WA.
Scorchers, WA,
so
done.
It's always been, and even before there was the 2020 in the Sheffield Shield, it was WA. So you didn't have local teams unless you like played in the local
A grade or whatever.
Yeah, so you might support Scarborough or something because that's where bloody Justin Langer came from.
Yeah.
But when it was football, there was a lot more. You kind of just did whatever your parents did.
Yeah.
Which was just coming to like. I had friends who were into basketball, going back to basketball.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends in the early 90s liked the Chicago Bulls.
I think everyone liked the Chicago Bulls.
Because Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
What was the coloured-haired guy?
Rodney.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, Rodman. I know what I was going to say.
Luke Longley.
Yeah, they had an amazing team.
Who was the fifth one for their starting five?
Oh, I can't remember.
Because that was their starting.
No.
That was their starting. Luke Longley was the centre. Yeah. Michael Jordan's a point.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen was a point.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman was guard. I can't remember who the other guard was. But anyway.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. People are like into that because of this. And I had other friends who were like, I had a mate who was a diehard Boston Celtics.
Oh, yeah.
Because when he was a little kid, his dad was into the Boston Celtics because of Larry Bird. And then had someone else who was into the LA Lakers because they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and those guys. And then, I kind of like, people followed their superstars. Like, I like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I'm going for it. But it's hard because you're not from there. I can understand in America, they go for the team because of where they're from. But here, we just go on like, I like that player, I'm going for that team. Or those guys are the winningest team. I'm 13 years old. The Chicago Bulls are winning heaps. I'm going for them. Me, guess who I went for? San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Because they're black.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And because... I wear black.
You do wear black,
and because I was a little metalhead bogan. And,
I mean, that makes sense.
Wearing black was what I did, and so I'm like, I'm going for the black team.
What about soccer? Did you have a soccer?
No.
No.
Couldn't care less about soccer. No.
Same.
I suppose if we're going in the colour theme, it'd be Newcastle.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In the Premier League because they're black and white.
I don't like... Chelsea? Just because I feel like I'd be a Chelsea girl.
No, I just didn't follow. I think it's because my dad was like...
Oh, no, my dad's full AFL.
Soccer
AFL.
players are wusses.
Yeah.
They are, but that's beside the point. Well, they're not necessarily. It's just part of their game to throw professional fouls, so they look like it.
I can't stand it.
But, so San Antonio Spurs, and I can't remember the... what was their big dude? I can't remember the name of it, but that was I didn't really care. I'm just like, all my friends are into basketball. I've got to pick a basketball team.
Yeah.
All those guys wear black, which is the most pathetic reason for following a team.
Whatever.
But hey,
No, we all
people
do
follow
that.
the Dockers because they wear purple.
Is that the reason? Isn't it just because they're not the Eagles?
I don't know. Some people, I would say there'd be people out there who choose their football team based on their colour, just like people choose their racehorses based. I hate horse racing, by the way.
I'm so glad that I can't follow the Melbourne Cup because school doesn't do it, so I don't even have to think about it.
I'm dead against it. I've got colleague at work who's a vegetarian, and when we got our invitation the other week, I think I mentioned it in last week's show. I checked with him and I'm like, you don't do the Melbourne Cup, do you? Because now I've got someone to hang with.
I don't do the Melbourne Cup. Yeah, it makes me very sad.
People choose horses based on their names or the number. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Did you have a ticket in the Powerball? For the
had a work ticket, yeah.
We
won $10.40.
Oh, I won. Well, I did the work one, but I also did my own because
so did I.
Joshua was very determined. He was like, "And if we win 100 million," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Would you and Damo get a studio?" I'm like, "Yeah."
100%.
Don't you love that he's gone straight to that though? I think it's hilarious.
He wants to sing in it.
Possibly.
Yeah, I had my own ticket, and I went for the whole Power Pick ticket because then you guaranteed the Powerball.
That's true.
So I spent like $36 on tickets, and I won $22.
Oh, okay. Well, I spent 12 and I won 17.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I made a profit.
So I spent $5 in the work one, which my share of that would be like $1.60. So we're just going to reinvest that for the $160 million.
We put 20 a month in. There's like 8 of us, and 20 a month. We just do it.
Yeah,
we're all hopeful that we can all do like a big mass walkout.
Yeah, I don't work with gamblers, so and I don't gamble. It's
that's
just
the only
because
thing we do. We've always just done it. Like
the only reason I put in is because everyone else was doing it, and it would fucking suck to turn up to work on Monday and the place is empty because everyone else is off sharing their $100 million. Yeah. So if there's a work lotto, I'm like, here's my $5, whatever. Yeah. And then if you win a little bit, you just keep putting it back in.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And then when it runs out, fine, you stop.
Yeah.
But
it's 160 million this Thursday,
which says a lot about the amount of people who bought tickets because $60 million extra has now gone into it because of the amount of tickets they've bought. Yeah.
So will someone win it? 160 million.
I don't know. I hope not, because I want to see it get up to like $500 million
imagine
and then one little old lady, so everyone can get angry at her.
And be like, she should have split it between everyone. She's so mean.
That's right. Or some rich person who could afford to buy
someone who's won it before.
Or someone who can afford to buy like an $1,100 ticket, because you can go and buy like a Systems 30 ticket and you're almost guaranteed to win. Well, not guaranteed, but you know what I mean. Yeah, okay. You're increasing your odds. But no, I also looked at it when I went into it to buy the ticket because I just have the Lotto West app. Wednesday Lotto was only $1 million, and I'm like, you know what? I'm buying a ticket in that instead.
My mum always says that to me. If you're going to buy a lotto ticket, always buy the $1 million ones because no one does it.
Yeah, but because if it's up against $100 million, I'm like, well, every man and his dog is buying a ticket in that. Did you know statistically? You've got a better chance of becoming rich and famous as a rock star or a singer than you do playing lotto. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And there's still hope for me either
because of the amount of people who try.
That's true. Well, I should do the $1 million Wednesday one. Okay.
But that's like if you want to break it down to percentages, the amount of people who actually try to become famous singing and being a performer.
Aren't that many, really?
Aren't that many.
More these days because of like social media.
Yeah, but still, it's not nowhere near the amount of people that play lotto.
That's true.
Worldwide. The amount of people that buy lottery tickets, scratchies,
insane.
It is a massive amount. Anyway, you went out last night.
I did go out last night.
And it's not because you were lonely.
I wasn't lonely.
But it did make me, that's why I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the show. Because, I mean, it's hard to come up with what are we going to talk about? So that's why I just threw that out there is like loneliness versus being alone.
Yeah.
You were alone. I haven't been drinking.
Not at all.
You were alone. You didn't want to be alone.
No.
So you went out. But is there anything wrong with that?
No.
No. There's not.
No, I mean, I could easily just go and stuff it. It's a Netflix night. I'm just going to hang out.
Your microphone is drooping.
Oh,
it's getting lower and lower. Can we just lift it back up and tighten that up a bit?
Which way?
Righty-tighty. That's would you like me to do it?
Yes.
All right.
Hang on.
Just tell a story while I come over there.
Oh, okay. I'll tell a story of...
You went out last night?
Yes. Oh, yeah. So I was going to go and just hang out and at Netflix. I was going to hang out at Netflix because I'm an employee there apparently.
How much were you getting paid?
Oh, heaps. Yeah, heaps. Oh gosh. Don't knock me out.
All right.
Okay, we good? Yes.
I wonder what that sounds like on the recording.
Probably like.
Okay, cool. So I'm coming back around the room here.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so anyway, our friend Sarah.
Yes.
She the Perth singles were having an event in Rockingham. She's like, I'm going to go, and I'm like, I'll come with you then. Why not?
Yeah.
I've got nothing else to do other than like hang out at Netflix.
Hang out at Netflix, yeah.
It's pretty much how I feel sometimes. What's wrong now?
Carry on.
Okay. Okay. I pretend. Okay. Anyway, so I was like, fine, I'll meet you. We went to the Pink Duck in Rockingham. It's like a bar sort of restaurant thing.
I had my armpit over my microphone, so yeah.
Cool. And then we headed on to VAT 116, which is a classy pub in Rockingham.
Okay. You know what I'm going to say? What's a classy pub in Rockingham constitute? Because, is it the same as a classy pub in Claremont?
No.
It's
not even close. Like, I felt like...
Classy pub in Toorak.
I felt like a superstar.
I bet you did. Yeah.
I'm more like, woo, look at me. I've got all my teeth.
Is that where you, walk in and you go, Cheryl? And, 6 people turn around?
Almost. Yeah, almost. And then this one girl comes up to... Sarah.
Sorry if your name's Cheryl. That's a gross generalisation. Or was her or Davo.
Yeah, any of those names. This one girl comes up and she's just lovely, and she's one of the Perth singles people. Mm-hmm. And first thing she says to me, she goes, I could out sing you any day. And I'm like, okay, then do it.
What does that mean?
It means that she's jealous because I sing all the time.
No, but I know that's what it means inherently.
Sorry.
But on
a Damo.
Okay. I'm not talking on a deep psychological level. I'm talking at face value. What does that mean? Because if I come up to you and said, I can outbench you, well, that's a fact.
That is a fact.
Right? I know that.
And I'm going to be like, agreed.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with you.
So that is something which can be measured, like fastest man in the world.
Yep.
How do you measure better singer?
I don't know. And I don't know. It was so random. I just was like, are you trying to make yourself feel better here? Because obviously on the Perth singles, I used to put my videos on all the time. And
see, because I've got an opinion on this, strangely enough.
I'm shocked.
So people will often say, I don't think that person's a good singer, or I don't like to. There is a vast difference between having a good voice and being a good singer.
Yes.
You can have both, or you can have one or the other. You may have a great sounding voice, but be terrible at singing.
That's true, yeah. Being
good at singing means your phrasing's good, your breathing's correct, you hit the notes appropriately. That's the technical side of singing. The other side of it is, do you like the person's voice? That is completely subjective.
Oh, so subjective.
Right?
It's like art, isn't it?
So that is, you're allowed to not like someone's voice. So they can say that, I don't like your voice.
Yeah.
But to say I'm a better singer than you, quantify that, please. Can you please tell me how that is? Because if you break it down to the technical, because that's the only way you can measure something is by technical measurements. And so it's like, oh, okay, so hit me a middle C.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you can, so can I. We're both equally good singers.
I was just like, why is this even a thing? I'm definitely prettier than you. You just have to deal with that, girl. But I didn't say it, but I thought it.
Sorry. How pretty is Megan Fox? Anyway, moving on.
She's very pretty.
My brain just went there when you say
myself.
pretty and I go straight to, oh my God, I saw this photo of Megan Fox this week. She looks ridiculous. Anyway, moving
beautiful.
on. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why she's with what's his name. But anyway, but see, I just was like, okay, with the whole singing thing, I can out-sing you any day. I was like, okay, well, put up a video on on the page and tag me and be like, this is me out-singing you, Skye. Also, I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, but see, once again, it's how do you quantify that? You need to be able to measure it. And when you have things like singing competitions, okay, that is the judge's opinion or the popular opinion. It doesn't necessarily, because all those people are great singers, so it doesn't come down to how well you sing. It comes down to your voice, which is why the voice is called
The Voice.
The Voice. Right? It's not how good are you at singing? Because they wouldn't
How
be there
good
if
do
they
you
weren't.
look? Yeah.
Yeah. They wouldn't be there if they weren't good at singing.
No, agreed.
So,
Anyway, so I was like, whatever. So that was that was the start. No, that wasn't even the start of the night. The start of the night started with like us all around the room, not around the room, sort of in this like U-shaped section of this pink duck place. And the guys are all on one side, on both sides, and then in the sort of centre area was three women.
So like it was whoa, shit.
What happened there?
The whole table just shifted.
Whoa.
Okay, it was sitting on a cord.
Okay.
Okay, panic. Everything's fine.
We're all good.
Yep. Sorry. So you were at a high school dance.
Yeah, it did feel a bit like that. Yep. And anyway, and so it was very awkward because no one couldn't really socialise because you weren't standing up, you were sitting. Anyway, then I messaged you saying I've got to remind me to tell you the sandwich story.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're a guy and this
I am a
woman
guy.
there, sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Okay, yeah.
You're a guy, right?
Yep.
It's a couple of women. Maybe you want to try and impress them. Maybe you don't. I don't know. And you're looking at the pink duck now. Yeah. Here is a story that I wouldn't tell.
Here's a story about. Sorry, I go into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You just did.
Yeah. Sorry, go. Yep.
All right. Here is a story that I wouldn't tell.
Okay, so what you're saying is a man, a stranger, not someone part of the singles group.
He's part of the singles group. But I don't know him very well at all.
This is the pink duck.
That is the pink duck.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty boring.
Yes.
It's got some tables and chairs. Do they do good food?
Well, they do this thing where they have like these rocks and they make the food like they sort of cook. Yes.
Like that.
Yes, exactly like that.
That looks like a really poorly cooked piece of meat. But anyway,
it's constantly smoky in there from the rocks.
Okay. Oh, I see what's happening. Yep. Okay. So sorry to keep this sidetracking, but I was looking at photos of pink duck.
Now you need to Google
the gentleman comes up and he says,
he's sitting there and he tells his story about a sandwich. I don't even know how it got started. A sandwich that was on his friend's bench. And then
what was in the sandwich? Is it important?
I think it was just his lunch.
Okay. Right.
I didn't ask that question actually because I'm not Damo.
Yeah.
So it was maybe a ham sandwich.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, it was something
boring.
in a snaplock bag, right?
Okay.
Anyway, then it disappeared.
Sandwich, was it?
No, it was a sandwich.
Okay, yeah.
No, it was a sandwich. It was his lunch. He was heading off to work.
They live together?
Yeah, they're flatmates.
Okay, cool.
So then anyway, he accused everyone.
You know I'm doing this on purpose at this point.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, you're an asshole. Anyway, he accused everyone of stealing his lunch.
His flatmates,
yes.
everyone he lives with. Okay.
Yeah, he accused them because he...
So the person telling the story, he was one of the flatmates?
Yes.
Okay, and the other guy was like, where's my sandwich?
Let's call him Tony.
Okay.
Tony. That's random. Okay, so he's got a sandwich. He's going to work. It's on the bench. Tony.
And he left his sandwich.
No, he went to get his sandwich and it was gone. Right? It's gone.
Does he have a dog?
Yes.
He has a dog.
Right.
Okay. Because that's the first thing I think is leave a sandwich on the bench. You got an animal.
Right. So anyway, he blames everyone. And then apparently then he went to walk the dog later or the next day and the dog shat out the sandwich bag.
The plastic bag.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I've already straight away. Yep.
Yeah.
So, did he apologise to everyone?
No, apparently then he just went and he left it there because he wanted everyone to admire, so people would walk past and admire the sandwich bag and in shit. And I was like, I don't understand this. The point of this
Wait. So, he's telling this just because, like, he needed to be part of the conversation,
so. Yeah.
or was he like thinking it was funny?
I don't know.
It's not.
It's not. I was just like, what the fuck? Where am I?
So was he like when he was telling this story?
Yeah.
How many people were listening?
At least 5 of us. No, I feel like the whole group was listening.
Right. So he was like.
I've
got the floor.
He did have the
floor. I'm going to tell this really interesting story. So my flatmate, right? He leaves a sandwich on the bench, right?
Yeah.
And then like it goes missing. So
Yeah.
he's like, "Where's my sandwich?" Right? And then when he's out walking the dog shits out the plastic, and the dog actually ate the sandwich. Hey? And then he left it there so everyone could see that there was plastic in the shit. Oh, yeah, okay.
And so then I'm
Not
just like,
but it's relatable, I suppose, yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I'm just like, is this how you want to impress women?
Maybe he didn't want to impress women. Maybe he was just did he seem nervous?
No, he seemed pretty normal.
Oh, yeah, that's
I mean,
normal.
he just seemed fine. I just was like, I just liked it when the guys decided to order oysters. I was like, okay, you're making a statement there, ordering oysters. I feel like oysters is very much a date food.
I went out to dinner with Billy for her birthday and I ate a shitload of oysters because oysters...
That's true, but they were really cheap, weren't they?
There was a buffet.
Yeah, so they were basically free.
Taking them.
Yeah.
But I don't know, oysters are good.
I don't like oysters.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't order them if there were other options. But if someone's like, I'm ordering oysters for the table, I'd be like, I am hooking into those.
Yeah, no, he ordered them for himself and just ate them. So there was no like group ordering.
So that was like you were having dinner or you just decided like bar food instead of having some chips or some nachos.
Some of the other
I'm
guys,
having oysters.
Yeah, and some of the other guys got wedges. I'd already eaten so that I wouldn't eat shit food.
Maybe he was just a bit fancy.
He's a bit fancy at the Pink Duck.
Anyway, maybe he just all he wanted was some protein.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he got the Kilpatrick, so...
Okay, so he was a bit of it's a bit of a weak.
That's what I would have. If I'm going to have oysters,
we
I'll have
spoke about
Kilpatrick.
this. Like, so why don't you just have some bacon with some Tabasco sauce and Worcester on it? That's
totally. Just give me fried bacon right now.
Worcestershire.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, that was
Worcestershire.
Yeah, I know.
Worcestershire. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was my first experience of the night where I was like, oh my God, here we go.
So how long had you been out when this happened?
At least an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're at home, you're like, I don't want to be on the couch, Netflix, on my one day.
I did my makeup and everything. Did you see my face? I did.
No. Oh, yeah, I did. You're wearing like black and, because you showed me the photo, yeah.
Yeah. And my face looked great. My hair was done. I looked...
Well, because you've got all of like 18 hours to yourself.
Woo!
Yeah.
What are you saying there?
Oh, nothing.
So I had to take advantage of the fact that, like, I'm going out to Rockingham.
Well, you hadn't planned it all week.
No.
It was just like right there and then, I'm going to Rockingham. I'm going to go out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go listen to some stories about dog shit.
It was very exciting. Yeah, so anyway, that was... So then
how did the group react? I don't want to harp on about the dog shit story, but how did the group react?
I did message you going, remind me to tell you about the sandwich story.
Yeah. I just... It's such a... Had he saved it up? Do you think it was just like...
I don't know. There was no real reaction, but they did go on it. Then one of the girls was like... Someone was like, well, that's a bit like with your homework. I mean, really, if you can save the dog shit homework, then you can prove that... And I'm like, where the fuck am I? What's going on?
Rockingham. That's some classy... So where did these people come from?
Rockingham. No one from Mandurah.
Okay, so...
He was from Armidale.
Was it an official singles event?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a South singles event.
All right. So how many people total?
15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And mainly from around that area?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was the only one from Mandurah.
Right.
And Rockingham, Armidale. This guy was actually from Armidale.
Okay. Yeah. So it's Armidale is Rockingham of the East. Let's face it.
That is true.
Yeah.
So he told the sandwich story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know how these things kind of
know.
happen, but it's like I might not tell a story about dog shit. I might find something that's actually interesting because it's not that it's like offensive or inappropriate. It's just not interesting.
It wasn't interesting.
It's interesting
at all.
now.
Yeah, or now because we're like dissecting it. But at the time, I was like, oh my God, I could have stayed home and watched Netflix.
Like I can totally imagine your face or the face of others just kind of like. Was there total silence while he was telling the story?
There was. Yes, we were listening.
So did anyone else have any great anecdotes that they needed to like? Because when someone tells a story and then someone's like, that reminds me because you had the homework story, or was it let's order some oysters?
I don't know. It was more sort of like, and then we just sort of. Oh, they went on about dog shit for a little while, actually. I felt like dog shit was a focus then for at least 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going with it's a singles event.
Yeah.
It's Perth singles.
Yeah.
Maybe he just doesn't get out much. Doesn't talk to humans.
Maybe not.
Maybe it's just Rockingham or
I don't know.
Armidale.
It's Armidale.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just like, Jesus, is this my night?
Yeah, okay.
Is this where I'm at?
So then you went to, you
That
said
116.
the
Do you need to
classy
Google
place.
that?
I do need to Google it because I
Google
want
it.
to see how much classier
So
it is.
just so we're clear, once upon a time, that 116, when I was a cool clubber, when I'd go to Rockingham
Oh,
sometimes.
so this place has been around for a long time then?
Yeah, but it used to be
Yeah.
called Zelda's, which was a strip club.
Okay.
So now it's VAT 116, and I used to hang out
Is
at
it VAT 116 because they do they brew their own liquor there or anything? What's the VAT come into it? Because
I don't know. Maybe it's
because-
116. That's at the street number?
oh, that's
No.
boring. Because I'm like, oh wow, they must like brew their own stuff or oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's very much a pub.
Yeah, it's pub food. Yeah.
Yeah. They have like
Steak sandwiches.
dollar wings or something on Wednesday night or
Oh, super classy and fancy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. That's pub food.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Pork belly. That is a little
Oh,
fancy.
that is fancy.
Yeah. It's got pork belly and vegetables.
Oh, lovely. And they've done like
That's-
a little bit of like a sort of
yeah,
fancy
they've
art.
made it. They've made it pretty with their cranberry
They
sauce.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not bad. Beer. Oh, what's this? Okay,
Steak.
see that to me is boring as shit. I don't tend to go to restaurants that serve this kind of food.
No,
like you've
well,
got a big chunk of steak with
Yeah,
some chips and some
gross
boring
salad. Yeah, which is
and
what
there's sauce all over the steak.
Anyway.
Sorry, I don't want to offend anyone by like saying I'm like a super classy dude, but that's the kind of food I would cook
But
at
I
home.
would eat
The
none of
wings are
that.
Good, yeah, yeah, I'd say. But I'm also such a snob. Like
So am I.
if I go out to eat, I want to eat something that I can't.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm going to rephrase that because something I can't cook, there's not much of that.
No. But anyway, like
Something I wouldn't normally cook.
I've been there. I think I've had dinner there once with Sarah.
Yep.
And I think I got a salad. You know me.
I'm going to shut this because I'm going, what the fuck is that?
I don't
I don't even know what
I
that
don't
is.
know.
Is that their bloody Parmigiana?
Yeah, I think it might be.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
What's that weird thing below it? What's that?
It's chips with,
Like loaded fries?
yeah, that's weird looking.
Very weird.
Okay. I'm
Oh,
burgers, steak nights.
Lots, yeah.
This thing here.
What
I
is
don't
that?
know what that is.
That's a
That's a
Parmigiana.
palmy with salad on top of the palmy.
Grated
What are
carrot.
you people doing?
Like almost like coleslaw.
Yeah, it is. It's coleslaw on top of the palmy. That's wrong.
That is wrong.
Something wrong with you people.
Okay, I'm
we
going
need to talk to the chef. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm going to tell you
Ripper.
my VAT 116 story because this was
Please
where
do.
it all goes very weird. My night was very weird. Okay.
It's
so-
weirder than some guy telling you about dog shit. Yep.
It's pretty weird.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm with Sarah
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to have a dance. So because it was good music, the band wasn't bad.
Nick was there too at this point. So how many
yeah,
people?
so Nick's there.
How many people
yeah.
kicked on?
All of them.
Oh,
So-
okay,
And
right.
added an extra couple. The one that told me that I'm a shit singer. That one.
Right.
She wasn't at Pink Duck. She was at that one.
So was the plan always to go to more than one venue?
Yes,
'Cause
apparently.
I fucking hate that.
Same.
If
Yeah.
I'm going out, I'm like, why do
Yeah.
we have to fucking pub crawl?
Right.
Can't we just go to one
I'm
place?
not a pub crawler either.
Yeah.
I'm just like, stay, like, let's have, yeah. In fact, we did that with Sarah one night. Remember we went to at least 3 places?
Yeah,
I wanted to stay at that whiskey place
Like,
all night.
what's wrong with one place?
I would love
It's like,
that whiskey place. I could, like, drank those beautiful watermelon
you
whiskeys.
dig yourself in, you
Yeah,
get yourself
chat,
a
chat,
table,
chat,
and
chat.
you stay there. Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Unless you're going to a restaurant and then to a bar,
That's different.
that's fine. But if
Yeah.
you're going to somewhere that does everything like a bistro,
Well, and that's
stay
what
there.
that, what's it called? Varnish on King.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Everything they do.
Yeah,
Food. They
yeah.
do drinks. I would.
So, like, if there's also a band,
yeah.
try and drag me out. Like,
Right?
I'm there till
Yeah.
stumps.
So
yeah.
Pink Duck was bad. VAT 116 was better. There was a band. There's
Okay.
drinks. There's people. Right. There's so many.
Was the band good?
Like I think we'd be better,
Okay.
but the band wasn't bad.
Was this where, like, at what point did the I'm a better singer than you? What an obnoxious. I'm sorry.
That was when I first walked into VAT 116, and she just came up to me. She's like, "Hey, I'm," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know who you are." And she's like, "Yeah," and I could out sing you any day.
Okay, so right there and then, if I'm in that room, okay, and I'm a gentleman who, like, let's say, and I don't know who this girl is. Let's say she's really fucking hot, right?
Yeah.
Let's say she's Megan Fox lookalike. Okay, I see your face. She's not, but let's say she's really, really hot, and I'm standing adjacent to this conversation, and I'm like, man, I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm going to buy her a drink. I'm going to have a chat. This is going to be great. The second she says some obnoxious fucking up herself bullshit like that, I'm like, what a piece of shit.
Yeah. I didn't even know
Even if
what to
I
say.
don't know you, like if I don't know you, I've never heard you sing in my life. For all I know, you may be a terrible singer.
Maybe I am.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What a rude, fucking obnoxious. You know what else is rude and obnoxious?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we mentioned it last week on the show about like going on a date and then like, you know, the whole turning around and walking out bullshit.
Yes.
Karen sent me a message where she was saying that happens because like men are like, oh, you don't look like your photo. How fucking rude are you?
It's never happened
No
to
one
me.
looks like their photo. That's what photos you can do whatever. Just at least give the person the courtesy of like, stick. You've gone there.
Yes.
Fucking
Stay
have
for one
the
drink.
date for fuck's sake.
Yes. Agreed.
Like just have a drink and then politely excuse yourself.
Exactly.
You don't need to be rude.
I know. Well, this woman was so rude to me. And I just stood there and I was actually a bit upset that no one defended me. Like, no one defended me. I was like, cool, I'm on my own here. So I'm like, cool, okay, well, just whatever.
But like I said before, if she'd come up to set and gone, oh, I've heard your videos, I'm not a big fan of your voice.
Yeah.
You could just be like, well, that's still rude, but you don't have to be.
No, and that's cool. Like,
but I'm
whatever.
a better singer than you, or I don't.
I could out.
But either way,
any
no,
day.
fuck you.
Yeah,
like you're not a fucking like. I don't care.
I know. I really just was like, whoa, bitch. Anyway, so that was the start of the night. Then I said, let's go and dance.
Did that put you?
Oh, I said to Sarah, let's go and dance.
she don't give a shit.
It's true.
So did that put you into a certain frame of mind at that point? Did that change
I
your
didn't
mood?
want to be anywhere the fuck near her.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But generally, like, were you still able to
No, I
have
was
a
still
good
okay.
time? Yeah,
I was still fine. So anyway, so we get so Sarah and I had gone to the bar, and then there was some very attractive men. And like,
Just
and they
happened
were
to be there, yeah.
just happened to be there.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh."
Were
like,
they men or children?
No, they were men.
Oh, okay.
No, they
Grown-ups.
were like in their early 40s.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
Yeah, right. So she's like, "Oh,
Well dressed.
yes,
yeah.
all of it." And so anyway, and she's like, "Oh, but I would never approach them." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Why not?
Well, she's just not that type of person. Anyway, we're on the dance floor, and so
like just generally.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
and then one of the
I
guys.
thought it was going to be because they're too good for me.
I think that's also what she was sort of going with. Yeah.
Fuck off. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to harp on that, but that's
No.
no one is too good for anyone.
Agreed.
I got a friend who says the same thing. He's like, "Oh, I don't talk to attractive women because I wouldn't. They wouldn't." I'm like, dude, you're an attractive man.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I'm not. I'm like,
I hate that. Yeah.
they're too good for me. No, bullshit. No one's too good for anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, so she's all like, no, and also how would and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Anyway, we're on the dance floor, and then one of the guys walks past me, and I just grabbed him. Like I just went, hey.
Hang on, you didn't actually grab him.
No. I sort of just like I
So
did
I physically
eye contact.
accosted him.
No,
Yeah.
I did eye contact and sort of started talking to him until he stopped, and we just sort of chatted, and then he was actually heading on to the bathroom. So
Yeah.
he went away, and you know, Sarah's like, and that's how you do it. I'm like, yeah, that's how you do it. Make just eye contact.
Hang on. You like make eye contact with another person and then say hello?
Yeah.
Let me write this down. This is groundbreaking. How to talk to people. Say hello.
Anyway, I don't know why it was so amazing, but anyway, she was all like, wow. And I'm like, yeah. Anyway, and then we went outside, came back, went to the bar, and he was staying next to me. So I'm like, what a coincidence. So subtle.
Did you get his number?
I haven't finished. The
Okay,
story,
yeah.
This is all about this guy. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're chatting. He buys me a drink, and then he says to me, "I'm married." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
So he was just being friendly.
right, and I'm like, "That's
And
cool."
you're like, no wonder you're married.
Yeah, right. I'm like, "Fuck, you're so hot." Anyway, right. I didn't say that to him, but anyway, he ended up because I was getting a glass of champagne. He bought us a bottle, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool."
I'm rich.
Anyway,
I'm
he's wearing
married and rich. Ha ha ha.
fuck yeah. Anyway, he's wearing double denim though, but I did comment on the double denim. I was like,
And
yeah.
doesn't give a shit what people think.
Right, exactly. So anyway, we're still chatting because I was like, that's cool because he was fun. He was interesting.
Yeah.
Might have single friends. Next thing, this woman comes over, older woman, like my mum's age.
Was it the wife?
No,
Oh,
it was his neighbour
oh
Right.
okay.
because they're all out for the neighbour's husband's birthday, right? And she comes up to me and goes, he's married. And I'm like, I know. And
Do you notice how we're not like having sex?
I'm not even, my tongue isn't down his throat, nothing.
Have you noticed how like we're just treating each other like
yeah.
humans in
Yeah.
a bar?
Like, I mean, we we were chatting, and there was definitely, I won't lie, there was flirting. I'm not going to lie. But I still was like going, married, he's married, right? Then she goes, and his wife is beautiful and is the most amazing body. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
This is when, right, you go, talk to him about it, not me, because I am a stranger in a bar talking to an attractive man. Yeah. If he's talking to me and he's married and whatever, that's his choice. I'm not trying to steal him.
Right.
If you, by proxy, are that intimidated by me as a woman that you think that I'm going to steal your neighbour's man, that's also a you problem.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm like, whatever. Then her son comes over and he's like, hey. And I'm like, hey. And he's like, so, and I'm like, yeah, I know he's married. And he's like, yeah, just checking. I'm like, okay, cool. What the
Check
fuck?
on him. So this is when you go, this guy's got history.
I don't know. So
that's his MO.
It keeps going.
No, I'm making that statement.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's his MO. Is he chats to women in bars.
Yeah.
And he needs someone to keep an eye on him because he is slime.
So
for face value, attractive man who I'm gonna flash my money around and buy champagne and yes, I am married, but let's still just chat. Slime bag. I don't give a fuck how he comes across as. Deep down inside, he's a piece of shit.
Then said to him, I said, I'm going to stop here now because I've just had that woman approach me and let me know that you're married and your wife is hot, and also he's also approached me and told me that you're married, so I'm going to walk away now. Anyway, no. So and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. He goes, I did tell you I was married. I'm like, yeah, no, I have no problem with that. Yeah, he had a ring.
Yeah, shut up, woman.
I know. I said we're literally just talking. Like we're just
You're
talking.
allowed to do that.
Yes. And you can buy me a drink if you fucking want to buy me a drink. Go for it. Like, it doesn't mean we're not having sex.
Does this guy work with women? Because, like, does she have to rock up at work and say, he's married? Fuck's sake.
It's so weird. It gets better.
Men and women are allowed to be friends.
Apparently not.
Or even strangers are allowed to talk to each other.
No.
Excuse me, the person behind the bar.
Yeah.
He's married. Like, yeah, I'm just serving his drink.
So she goes, yeah, so he's married. His wife is hot and the best body ever. She does fitness shows. She is the hottest thing ever. And I'm like.
That's me. Hang on. Can you hear that? No? That's the sound of me not giving a fuck.
It's just like, what the fuck? Anyway, so I said that to him. I said, I'm taking my champagne and I'm leaving. I didn't say that, but I said, I'm going back to my friends.
Did you do it like that? I'm leaving.
I almost did. He goes,
okay, Scarlett O'Hara.
I know, right? And then he goes, maybe we can chat later. I'm like, that's fine, whatever. Like, and so then we did start chatting again.
Yeah.
He came up to me again, and then and he's all like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And by this point, he was getting very, like, in my face flirty, right?
So once again, I'm going to go in here with the reason that the neighbour and the son had to talk to you is because it's pointless talking to him.
Clearly.
So if they had like said to him, stop hitting on women, he'd be like, I'm not hitting on women. I don't hit on women.
Yeah.
He obviously hits on women. He obviously flirts with women. They were letting you know. And the way that they've gone about it is
wrong.
You don't need to tell. She's really attractive.
She came up to me on the dance floor. I was with my friends on the dance floor just like, whoa. And she's like fully eyeballing me. I'm like, lady, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not even
Welcome to Rockingham, where it's high school all the time.
That was so weird.
Jesus.
So that's then next thing I'm standing there with Sarah outside, and he comes up to me and like hands me a drink. He's like, hey, Skye. And I'm like, oh, hey. He's like, I was going to go. And I'm like, okay. And
okay,
he's like,
go.
But I don't want to go. And I'm like, okay.
Was he drunk at this stage?
No, he was medium. So then we walked away a bit because I wanted to see where this was going to go. I was never going to do anything.
No,
I respect, but I wanted to see how far I could take this. Anyway, I said to him, and then he's like he's touching me by this point. And I'm like, well, so what's the deal? Are you actually married? And he's like, yeah, but I'm like, oh, so are you in an open marriage?
Qualifying statement, yeah, but.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Are you in an open marriage? He's like, well, I mean, I'd like to be. And I'm like, okay.
Ooh, you liar.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go to him. Oh, that's really interesting. I've actually just got it out of a time I was dating a man who was ethically non-monogamous, and so basically he had another partner and I was his secondary, and so we went on like that went for a little while. And so is that sort of what you're looking for? And like his face and he's like, no, actually, I think I just want to go home now. I think I just want to go home.
No, I want to cheat on my wife.
Right.
And you've just called me out.
Exactly. Yeah. And then he went, right?
Wow.
It hasn't finished yet.
Oh, no, I'm just thinking about he is well known to the people that know him as a cheater or potential cheater.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I said to him when he said that, I was like, well, actually, ethically non-monogamous. Let's talk about this. And he was just like, it just shut him down.
Because if that's where you want to go, let's go.
Yeah. That's exactly what I said to him. But that's not what he wants. He wanted me to go with him and fuck him somewhere.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he wanted.
Oh.
It was so, anyway, it gets better though. Then I see his friend, not another friend.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, hey, your friend, he's gone home. And he's like, oh, has he? I've just been trying to call him. Like, yeah, he's gone home. I said, I think maybe because he wanted to have sex with me. I'm not sure. Such a bitch. And he's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, next thing, he's back. So he comes back and he's all still like, and then next thing I'm on the dance floor. Then he's dancing on the dance floor too. And then
this is after he said, I'm going home and like he's changed
back.
his mind
No,
because his penis
back.
has a bigger brain than his actual head does. Yeah.
And he's back and then he's all like touching me again. And I'm just like, whatever, fucking idiot. Anyway, then he goes, I got to go home again. He goes, this is, I'm touching you and rah, rah, rah. I'm like, fine. He goes, what about if you came home with me? I'm like, no.
Are you serious?
You have no idea how long I've had to keep this in and not tell you about this.
After, this is, I can understand why you didn't tell me before because, like, I get to go, whoa, right now. So his neighbour has called. So was he, when she was saying to you he's married, was he in earshot of this?
I think he'd gone to the bathroom. Or he'd gone to give someone a drink or something. I can't remember how it happened.
Yeah, she knows what he's like. I would think that a better way to approach you would be to go, look, I'm just going to let you know that I know he's married and this isn't about you, but he is known for hitting on single women. Yeah. And just so that you are like, I don't want you... Because some single women might just not give a shit that he's married. I just want to make sure that you're not that kind of woman because potentially he's going to use you or, even just to say it like that is like, he's married. I know, like just in case you don't know, he is married and he's going, because of the kind of person he is going to try and get you into bed. Not, but his wife is so hot. Like, what a stupid way of approaching it.
I know.
But the fact is, through the evening, he's played this back and forth stupid game in his own little head because he's making life exciting. Because at home, it's probably boring as shit.
It probably is. Well, she's probably on a very low-fat diet and focused on her, like, making her body perfect.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Seriously. And, like, I was just like, holy shit. So then he tried one more time. Yeah. And,
so what period of time are we talking here?
This is like at least 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. This is over a 2-hour period. Like I wasn't hanging out with him the whole time. I was back and forth. I was dancing. I was hanging out with everyone. And then it just was this, I felt like this
like fucking high school is what it feels like.
It was insane.
Jesus.
Anyway, I ended up talking to his other friends.
See, I'm so fascinated by this because I've never been a part of this world. I've never picked up in a bar. I've never even tried to chat someone up in a bar or on a dance floor or something like that. So to me, this is so foreign that this even goes on. Yeah. So like, no matter what, I mean, I've been sitting at a bar and had women come and talk to me. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, but everything's nice. Yeah. And then eventually they're like, anyway, so my friends are calling me, so I'm going to go. And I'm like, okay, cool, have a good night. Yeah. That's just as far as my interactions with women go in public.
I'm very good at, like, making it very clear I'm interested, like, when I'm out.
Well, see, this is the thing. I saw a meme or something recently where it was, like, a man saying, a woman. Sorry, it was a woman who'd said, what do we have to do to make men know that you're interested in them? I mean, for God's sake, men. And a man replied, and it was like a screenshot of like a Twitter or something. Man replied, look at us.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, seriously, if you're out in public, and I know, I'm not stupid. I'm just saying I've never done anything about it. So, like, if I'm in a bar and I see a woman, and I see it, across the bar, across the restaurant, looking at me, right, and they make eye contact with you,
there's a reason.
you know straight away they're interested in
They're
you.
not being like, oh, hello, human. Hello, human.
They're
They're
just
like,
looking at everyone,
I think
and
you're
especially if you
attractive.
catch it more than once, or they smile at you.
Smile or like,
That is your cue to go and talk to them. You get up. I don't.
No.
I'm just like, they're being polite. I'll smile. They're obviously, maybe they're interested in me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But maybe because I just can't be bothered with the whole thing.
I think that's what it is. You're too busy like drinking your like martini.
I'll have my martini and eat my beautiful food and talk to the bar staff.
Exactly.
But yeah, but if you are there, if you're out on the meat market trying to pick up,
to be truthful, that wasn't my plan though, for the night.
No,
but yes,
if a woman looks at you and makes eye contact with you, she's interested in talking to you. So talk to her. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So
that's all you'd done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'd done. It was just crazy. Anyway, I ended up talking to his other friend.
You picked a good target. That went well, yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, look at us. We get to talk to this for like the last 20 minutes.
I know,
So, yeah.
and I gave him so many options to like not be an idiot, but like the ethically nominal. And I told Nick.
Yeah.
So I said to Nick, I need to tell you what just happened because and he like lost it when I told him about how he was like, no, I don't mean that. I just mean, okay, I'm going to go home now.
Yeah, his little mind. You know what? If you had walked up to him and said, gay people.
Yeah.
He probably transgender, huh? They, them. Just like throw out some key words. He would have buckled. He would have freaked out.
But I threw in ethic, and when I explained my whole situation, he was just like, "Oh, I just want to fuck you." You know what I mean? I could tell. That's all he was interested in. He wasn't interested in like politically anything like that. He was just like, I just want to have sex with someone that's not my wife.
And now I just realised I've just wasted the last 2 hours and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but he kept trying.
Fucking neighbours. Oh, what a dick.
I know. It was pretty impressive. So then I ended up talking
to
his
at least go like, say you're from Rockingham, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to go out and try and pick up a random. Go to Joondalup.
Yeah.
Do it there.
But not in Rockingham and not with your neighbours. What an idiot. So anyway, yeah. So,
Who are fully aware of what you like. Yeah.
She was so aggressive and she's beautiful and she does fitness competitions. I'm like, I don't know why you're telling me this. But now, obviously now I do.
Yeah, because he's like, maybe she'd said to him, your wife is so beautiful and she does fitness competitions and what are you doing? Why are you trying to pick up women? Yeah. And then he can go, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
Or she beats me in my sleep.
I'm just really miserable. And look how beautiful this woman is. Yeah. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah. I need to step. I don't have the balls to like break out of my relationship.
Yeah.
I'm in an abusive relationship and my wife maybe she like tries to poison him or like she just talks down to him and makes him feel bad. He may just be looking for the thrill.
Yeah.
You don't know, but we don't know. He could.
No.
It could be that she's a horrible person.
Yeah.
But he sounds like a not very good person either.
Yeah. No, not. So then I ended up talking to his friend Michael, who was lovely, who's actually really nice, and married and not interested in me at all, and gave me his friend's who's single number. So.
Oh, blind date.
Well, no, I don't know. No, actually, this is how it happened. He made me add him on Facebook, let him know that I was going to message him, then messaged him for me, even though he was drunk, and the message was terrible.
That's weird.
So then I had to send a message this morning being like, I'm really sorry. That
My
was not me
friend likes
messaging you.
I've got a single friend and he likes you.
I said to him, how about you just give me his number and I'll just call him or message him. He's like, I don't know you well enough, Skye, to be handing out phone numbers. I'm like, okay, well, I'll give you mine. He goes, let's do it this way on Facebook.
So what you're saying is, so what I'm getting from this whole story is that a night out in Rockingham at a classy place is like being in year 11 in 1997.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that's when I was in year 11.
Okay.
That was exactly. Yeah. So, yes, it was literally like I was at year 11. It was such a weird night. And anyway, it was just weird. It was crazy.
Skye, you scrag. Stay away from him. He's going out with Maureen and she's hot.
And then when this guy comes up to me, he's like, hey. And I'm like, hey. He's like, I'm and I'm like, hey. He's like, I'm his neighbour. And I'm like,
you know, I'm going to bleep all these names out.
Yes.
But yeah.
And I'm just all like, what the heck? Where am I? What are you doing here? I'm like, I'm just out with friends. He's married. Yeah,
Cool. Talk to him.
Yeah.
We're repeating ourselves now, but yeah, that's basically what it comes down to.
Seriously, it was the craziest. And all I kept thinking was, oh my God, thank goodness we're doing the podcast today or tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, no, great content. Excellent.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's not a like, to me, like I said, it sounds like make believe because
I
like
wish
I
it
don't
was.
experience it. But I'm sure to like plenty of people listening, they're sitting here going, "That's happened to me."
Yeah,
and I know that guy, you
Yeah.
know, or a guy like that, or I was in a relationship with a man like that. And, you know, it took me 12 years to break out of that because when he got home, maybe he was the one who was like, I don't know, who knows? But
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, just wow. Like, wow.
It's
but
bold.
It was
is
quite
what it is,
hilarious
yeah.
though, because when I was talking to him at one point, like Sarah and this other woman were both going, oh yeah, he's totally a douche. And I felt like turning around saying, you're only thinking that because you've seen how he's acting with me. Before then, both of you were all like, oh my God, he's so hot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now you're all like, yeah, he's a douche. I'm like,
Yeah, but you get that with like hot people, you know.
I get that all the time.
Yeah. You know, like people just assume you're something.
Yeah.
Based on your appearances, like me, I like going from long hair, big beard, to exactly the same person the next day with short hair. And I don't clean shave. I don't believe in it. But, you know, being much more presentable, people treat me like a completely different person.
Yep.
So, yeah. And like me at work with a suit on versus me on the weekend, don't even brush my hair. People will look, and the car I drive, it's not pretty.
Same with my car.
You know, so people like, I know I pull up in a car park and you can see people just like clutching their handbags. You know,
Don't do that with me. I don't think anyway.
No, they probably don't do it with me either because, like, you know, I'm a
you don't
middle-aged white man, you know, so I'm completely unthreatening. Well, no, I'm not.
You're more threatening.
Yeah,
than
more
me.
threatening than a woman.
Yeah,
just by that general sense of men are quite threatening.
Yes,
like
you
if
don't
you're a
have to
woman.
like get your keys ready to get in the car at night time.
I don't have to worry about things.
Yeah.
No,
you don't. You could go jogging at night time if you wanted to.
Yeah, I can.
That,
I don't know, and I can even like. I can pull a pretty scary face as well.
Yeah.
So if I do feel intimidated by other men, I can puff myself up and look very scary. So
even with all my biceps,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But no, it is funny like the way that people will kind of perceive you because as I said, like when I'm walking through the city with a suit and you can just the way that you get treated when you go into shops as well. Like if I go into a menswear store and I'm like dressed in a suit, I get a certain level of attention. If I go in there dressed in jeans and a t-shirt,
it's different.
You know, it's completely different.
That you're just not really there to spend money.
Yeah, it's like it's the pretty woman effect.
Oh,
like
definitely.
you don't know how much money
Big
I've got.
mistake.
Yeah, you know what I'm doing.
Huge.
It's like when I talking about car shopping last week. I walked into a car yard last week on a Saturday dressed in just the scummiest Saturday clothes. Actually, I think I had like probably workout gear on.
Oh no!
Did
they approach you?
I walked in because it's a new car dealership.
Yeah.
Out in the yard. I wasn't looking at cars, so they didn't like, you know, they kind of hover and they wait for you. When you're standing around a car, they'll come down and be like, oh, yes, so let me sell that to you. But I walked in the door of the place and I've looked and the young dude has like made a beeline for me straight away. And I'm like, awesome. He hasn't judged me as not having money.
Yeah.
If I've walked into this new car dealership and I'm walking directly up to the sales counter, he's just gone, this guy isn't in here just to look around. So that was good. I was like, how are they going to treat me? But he didn't give a shit. He was like, he was a new car salesman. I'm there at a new car dealership. He's like, I'm going to sell this guy a car.
He wants commission.
Yeah. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then when I'm like, oh, do you have this in? I want to test drive one of these at some point. Or I said I wanted to look at one in person because I'd never seen them on the internet. And he's like, don't have any in. I said, do you know any dealerships that do? Straight away, he's like, oh, we're getting, like another guy goes, we're getting one next week. They're all coming in next week. And I'm like, all right, no worries, we'll come back. And he goes, oh, here's my card. So,
Clever.
you know, you can give us a call just to make sure they're in. And I'm like, yeah, because like, you know, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because it's a brand new car, I can just buy it online directly from the manufacturer.
Yeah,
like I know exactly what it is. All I've got to do is go to a dealership, drive one.
Yeah.
I want to, like, I'll drive the manual, drive the DCT auto and just see the difference. And then I'm going to buy one. So I'm going to do it online. I'm going to go to the website and I'll choose my colour. The only options are what colour do you want and do you want a sunroof? Oh, and what type of gearbox do you want? Because it's, like I was saying last week, it's a performance car. It doesn't come with, oh, do you want to add this? Do you want to add this? Change the wheels. It's like, no, these are the wheels you get. This is the trim you get. These are the seats you get. Which gearbox do you want?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So it's, I don't have to go and try that shit. I'm just going to go, that's the gearbox. But I do need to test the damn thing out to know what it is. Anyway, talking about cars again.
I know. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, anyway, so that was my night. Holy shit.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you had the shit guy, which was quite boring, really.
Yeah. But then I've had the most insane evening with this guy. Like, that was not... I wasn't expecting that. I mean, first of all, like, apparently I'm really good at picking up guys, even though literally all I did was
all you did was look at him and say hello. I mean, once again, to everyone out there who thinks, like, if you're a woman and you think that you don't know how to get a man's attention, that is literally all you have to do. We are very simple creatures. If we find you attractive, all you have to do, like, if you're like, okay, so addendum on this, a lot of men will find a woman attractive and just approach them and talk to them. If that woman hasn't looked at you or made any indication to you, or there's no bodies, like, leave her alone.
Yes.
Let them, if they look at you, go for your life. Women as well, don't sit there going, why don't men talk to me, if you're not actually making eye contact with them, because that's all a man needs. If as soon as you make eye contact with a man and, like, more than once, smile.
Smile is important.
I mean, not that I go with the whole, like, you look prettier if you smile bullshit, because I fucking hate that.
No, but smile means that you're at least, like, open to a conversation.
Yeah. But people say that to me as like, oh, why don't you smile in photos? Why don't you mind your own fucking business?
I had that. Like, I put a post up on Per Singles one time ages ago and did, like, sort of like more like a sexy photo. And someone's like, oh, smile, miss. I think that's what it was. Smile, miss. And I was like,
stick it up your ass, like, and because someone said to me, like, oh, you should smile, you look so much better. I was probably in Perth Singles. Oh, you look so much better, smile. And I said, as a woman, how do you feel when a man says you look pretty if she smiled?
Right.
Goes both ways.
Yeah.
Don't tell people to smile. If they want to smile, they'll fucking smile.
Yeah.
Don't tell someone they look better if they smile. Don't judge people. Like, fuck you. I'm not living my life for you.
Yeah, I know. I was so angry. And then I replied and he was all like, I just meant that, you're pretty and you should smile. And I'm like, yeah, great.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I want to do a sexy, like, pouty face. End of story.
Because you know what this photo's for? Who's this for? It's for me. It's not for you.
Like, look at me.
Or it's for someone who actually appreciates me without the smile.
Exactly.
Whatever. But yeah, like, you don't have to smile. Like, but just at least make eye contact.
Yes.
Make eye contact.
Yeah. That's all I did. Apparently it was impressive. Apparently I am the queen of picking up.
Okay.
I mean, Rockingham's pretty easy. I was, like, prettier than most of them and I had my teeth.
Okay, ladies, so head down to Rockingham and just smile at men and
just
you'll do all right.
Just watch out if there's a guy that's wearing denim on denim, stay away from him.
Yeah, well, stay away from them anyway. It's a bit weird, unless they're in a band.
That's true, then that's okay.
Because, like, if they're Justin Hawkins from The Darkness,
well, that's different.
He can wear as much denim as he wants. He's probably got flames on it too.
Mean,
He wears jumpsuits.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter. Celebrities.
He's got flames tattooed where his pubes are.
Oh,
like,
really?
Instead of pubes, he's got flame tattoo.
Good on him.
I think it's hilarious because he wears, like, the jumpsuits, the V is
with
cut all the way down to there, and you can see his flame pubes. It's great. Oh, anyway, we should mention the socials.
Oh, we should.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, in my lounge room on Instagram.
Yes, and on Facebook in my lounge room podcast.
Yeah, and you can email us, Skye and Damo @gmail.com.
Please email us because we did get an email this week.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, it was from the hosting service.
Oh, yeah. Because I've been doing a lot of that lately. A heap of it.
So, no, but please, like I said, we got a message from Karen earlier and she was referencing last week when we were talking about, like, people walking in and turning around and saying no and just walking out. Like, don't be so rude.
That was so gross.
It's just, don't be rude.
Yeah,
it's not that hard. You don't have to stick it through. You don't have to go any further, but you've turned up. Make the effort.
Just have a drink.
Be polite. It doesn't take that much. And I got a message about metal.
Yeah.
I got a couple of messages supporting my choice of Rob Zombie on last week's episode. However, be prepared for this week because it's not metal.
It's not even close to metal.
But there will be more metal in the future because that's, I like metal.
Yeah.
But I also like, like all sorts of things. Someone told me actually one of my songs was country.
Which one?
I think it's Brighter, but it was one I played a few weeks ago. But it was the the sun is brighter in the morning.
I suppose it is country.
The head is warmer on my skin. I'm like, that's country.
There you go.
Country, but I've
so
now
broad.
Yeah, and like, but I've had more than one person say, like, a couple of people say, I didn't really like that song because I'm not into country, and I'm like, did I write a country song? Like, what the hell? Because I don't know what I'm writing.
You're
like,
just writing.
I just write it. And, like, if it's a pop song, it's a pop song. If it's a metal song. I didn't really think
of it as country. I just liked it. But there you go.
Yeah.
I suppose maybe it did have a twang to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But it's just song. I don't know.
Well,
like,
you're now a country singer.
I'm a country singer. I've got a country. Though in my back catalogue, I mean, I've written maybe 75 to 80 songs.
Yeah.
There are songs in there which, I don't know, there was a phase there in a band I was in where we just wrote songs to pull the piss out of other bands.
Then there's probably quite a lot of country there.
So there's like, I don't know, but there's... No, but like, I don't know, we would write a song that sounded like another genre. Like I wrote a pop punk song which sounded like Blink-182 because there's a thing, like the pattern is like a T shape. So it's that that pattern.
Yeah.
On your fretboard, it kind of makes like an L or a T. That pattern is in so many pop punk songs. It's not funny.
Remember,
and we all think
was
of
huge.
Yeah.
No,
well, it was the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But the big one is All the Small Things by Blink-182.
That's a great song.
Because it's got that na 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 na. That goes through two different melodies, but the chords go. Then it's say it ain't so, and I will not go. Turn the lights on and carry me home. Na 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 na.
Great song.
Anyway, lesson in pop punk. It's very formulaic. Most music is. It's all been done.
In fact, you tell me this regularly when I'm like, and that person is very individual. No. Oh.
It's all been done. All music has been written. And in fact, recently someone got some AI to write every possible combination of music that will ever be able to be released. So basically, which is stupid.
It's really sad.
But they got the AI to figure out, and it's millions of permutations of what the 12 notes in a Western octave.
Yeah.
And considering that how many octaves is there on a piano keyboard? Six, whatever. So it worked out how many combinations of those 12 notes. We won't talk about Eastern music because they have more notes.
Yeah.
But the 12 notes ranging from A to G and all the flats and sharps in between, how many combinations of those notes can you come up with to create different melodies? And an AI worked it out, which I think is terribly sad.
I don't want to think about it. It makes me really sad. No.
Just create
That's
music.
Not what music is.
And it doesn't matter if you wrote, like, I've done it before. Like, I wrote a song once that I was like, oh, this is brilliant. Then someone's like, oh, you do realise that that's such and such. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I've written a song I've heard. Like, because my brain is like, oh, this sounds great. And you know why it sounds great? Because you've written a song that someone else wrote already.
Which is like already a great song. Probably won a Grammy or something.
Yeah. Although I must say, there was a time where I wrote this riff, which I thought was really great. And then like a year later, John Butler played this riff that was like remarkably similar to the riff that I wrote a year before he'd released it. And I'm like, that is an absolutely amazing coincidence. That dun 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 dun. I wrote that fucking riff a year before he did. And I'm like, how did that happen?
And he's like so rich now.
Well, he's probably not, but
No,
like,
actually.
you know, but no, it was just like, that is amazing that like so separately you can write, you know, and like also wrote, there was a song which we called Curtis is a fuckhead because this guy, he was a fuckhead, yeah. Okay. And I went, Curtis is a fuckhead, Curtis is a fuckhead, Curtis is a fuckhead, yeah. Grinspoon wrote a song called That Guy's a Fuckwit.
Yes.
And it went, that guy's a fuckwit. That
Yeah.
guy's... It was the same thing.
That's-
but it's na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
That's why. Yeah.
That's why.
So common. Yeah.
Anyway, lessons
Cool.
in music and
Thank
writing
you
a million
so
things.
much.
Yeah. So anyway, that'll do.
Yeah, I think that will do. Yeah, that will definitely do.
Excellent. That'll do.
That'll do, donkey. That was the crazy stories by Skye.
Yeah, excellent. You got to go out and again next week so that we can get more. Or no, the week after or whatever.
Yeah, I can do that again for like a month or two
it'll be
at
great.
least.
Okay, how about we just get some listeners to do it? Tell
Okay,
us your crazy
yes,
stories.
come on.
Fill us with content.
Tell us how you like to pick up.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
Okay, that's
it's
enough.
done. Cheers. Bye.
Every morning you greet me, tall and white, clean and bright. You look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever.
Small and white, clean
And bright, you look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow Edelweiss, my homeland forever.
Thank you for listening to In My Lounge Room. Intro music written and performed by Damien McKay. This week's outro song was performed by Damien McKay and Skye Pember. The musical arrangement and production by Damien McKay. Originally performed by Bill Lee and Julie Andrews, although apparently there is a version from the original recording of The Sound of Music that was sung by Christopher Plummer, who played Captain Von Trapp, that never made it to the final cut of the film and instead was dubbed over with the voice of Bill Lee. Written by Richard Rogers and Oscar Hammerstein II. I also want to say, during the show, towards the end, we were talking about all a woman needs to do to show a man that they're interested is to look at them. I don't want that taken the wrong way, because quite often a woman's looking at a man out of their own safety just to keep an eye on him. So I don't want men just automatically going, oh, that woman looked at me, she's into me. There's more signs. Like we said, if she smiles, if she's looking at you in a friendly way, approach her. Don't just approach women who look at you, because that's fucking creepy.